Hi, friends. All right, so I am doing a little bit of kind of a pep talk today. I want to talk a little bit about goals and how I feel they should make you feel. In general, I feel like goals should make you feel excited, right? And a little uncomfortable, right? Because they're a place that you haven't been, which means it's new, which means you're doing things you haven't done or haven't done in a long while or haven't done consistently, which means it's effort, which means you're having to change who you are, your routines, how you do what you do, your beliefs, right? That's uncomfortable. And I think for a lot of people, accepting that discomfort is a big piece to the puzzle of even getting to goals, right? Accepting that they're not always going to be this glorious, easy, excitement filled, motivational filled place, right? We often hear that. You've probably heard it in the whole world of fitness, of the act of you're not always going to have motivation, work on creating dedication and routines, right? And of course, that is always a really solid move to make, right? Having habits and routines means that when you don't feel like doing it, you're going to do it anyways, right? Or you're going to be more likely to do it anyways, right? Motivation isn't always going to be there. However, when it comes to goals, I think simply accepting that there's going to be discomfort along the way is a really big piece to creating um, the mindset that's going to support figuring out the solution to the challenges that arise, right? And I posted the other day a post on Instagram that was titled, like in the photo, it actually said, "Easy doesn't build strong." And I just wanted to kind of like pull that into this because I feel like sometimes what we see outwardly in terms of like we're following all these fitness accounts and people who are making changes, and that's a great environment to kind of be in this like community, right? Create a community in social media. I think it's a great idea. However, it can also create a false understanding of what it takes to get to your goals, and everyone's going to have a different journey and everyone's going to perceive that journey differently, right? But I think it's so important to keep this kind of like excitement around the discomforts and the excitement around the changes you're making, right? You want this goal. You're choosing this goal, right? Remember that. Like these changes you're making are because you want to make them, right? You want to feel a different way. You want to like experience life a different way, right? The goal isn't just about this weight number or shape. There's a reason that you want to feel that way, whether it's confidence or to do things you want to do or longevity of things or to keep up with your kids. Like there's more to it than that. And I think it is important to come back to reminding yourself that you're choosing this goal, which means you're choosing the discomforts, which means you're choosing to change. And that can almost bring an empowerment to it in itself, just from being like, I have control over this. Like I am controlling what I'm doing. I am choosing this discomfort, right? It is so much better to choose discomfort, a positive discomfort, moving you someplace else, right? Versus having the discomfort of being here that I guess you're choosing as well, right? Like you call it choosing, right? If you're choosing not to change something when you feel uncomfortable, you're choosing to be here, right? Yet I think we all would ultimately choose to be uncomfortable moving somewhere, right? I talked a little bit in the post this last week that said easy doesn't build hard. In that post, I talked a little bit about how your goals are going to require you to change, right? We know that, and we know change isn't easy. And there are some key characteristics to those who are successful with their goals, those who accomplish their goals. So I'm just going to kind of reiterate some of those. Valuing learning, willing to try new things, which is a requirement of most all change. Recognizing how they are doing things now hasn't worked and isn't working, and surrendering to a new plan of action. Understanding that being uncomfortable is part of the process of changing, right? I think when we expect it more, we expect to be uncomfortable, it's a lot easier to be uncomfortable versus like not expecting it, right? And then you're just being surprised by it, and then it almost makes us kind of like go away from it versus facing it. Believing past failures do not have any hold on future outcomes, which is very true. Willing to be vulnerable of what you look like, feel like, and are capable of. Identifying weak character traits and working to improve them. You know, I say it again in here, easy doesn't build strong. We build our goals, we build where we're going in the challenges that we face, right? That is a whole part of this goal, is becoming a new version of you, right? Fixing those weak links in different areas that don't feel good. That's why you want to go there, is because something doesn't feel good, right? So I think just coming back to why you're doing why you have the goal you have, knowing you chose the goal you are choosing, or that you're working towards, and reminding yourself that you're choosing to better yourself. Like, this whole process is about improving, right? And those improvements are automatically going to start to create different results. So if you just focus really hard on those improvements, you focus really hard on improving those weak links that don't feel good anyways, and you improve on those, you're going to get somewhere else. So change is going to happen. So couple little components in there that I wanted to touch on, but I hope it was a little bit of a motivational talk in a sense, or a pep talk, just to come back to reminding yourself that challenge is all part of change, and it always will be, to expect it and to face it head on, to face it with, okay, how am I going to strategize with this? Use that growth mindset to continue to support yourself in reaching your goals.